سحرگاه امروز سایت‌های هسته‌ای کشور در فوردو، نتنز و اصفهان طی اقدامی وحشیانه و مغایر با قوانین بین المللی به ویژه معاهده عدم اشاعه سلاح‌های اتمی NPT مورد تهاجم دشمنان ایران اسلامی قرار گرفت. این اقدام مغایر با قوانین بین المللی متاسفانه در سایه بی‌تفاوتی و بلکه همراهی آژانس بین المللی انرژی اتمی انجام شده است.
Not only the US, all the world, we are making the war for all the nations, for Europe too, because Iran is not satisfied only to hurt Israel. They want to take all the Middle East, all Europe, and I don't want to say the rest, I'm not politics. Yeah, but I understand something about this life. This is the situation. I was 100 meters from here, I'm living in this building. Me and my daughter, we heard the first alarm to go in the shelter. I woke up my daughter, I told her to come. She came, we sit in, we close the door with our dogs, and 7:07 they start the alarm. It was the first alarm. We hear the booms far away, and then the second alarm, I heard like a plane is going over our head, and it was like a big whistle, and then after a second I heard a big boom. My ears was like bombing. The door of the shelter was open. The dog ran away, and we were in fear. I took my carriage. I closed the door back. My daughter started to cry, and we waited for the Picud Aoref to come and tell us to go out. When we went out, we saw that the window in the living room was broken. All the pictures were broken. Pieces from the wall was on the floor, and all over the house.
The sound was huge. Huge. I never heard such a sound. I was in the army, and my parents live in Ashkelon. I passed few bombs. I passed few walls. But it was nothing like this. This one was a tsunami from up. Really.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
损失50%，削弱对方的战斗能力。伊朗的导弹数量很多，也很壮观，动不动那个至少也要几百万美金啊。那这2天真的看到什么别墅区，以色列别墅区被打中啦，什么国防部大楼啦、摩萨德总部啊，打中以后，它的损失要花多少钱跟多少的力？
We are facing the risk of a third world war. And I want everyone to ask themselves the question, for what? For what? There were scheduled to be negotiations between the United States and the Iranians, agreed to by the United States and the Iranians last Sunday. They were getting geared up for these negotiations to try diplomatically to resolve this. I want to remind people of something. Colin Powell, remember him many, many years ago, the first black Secretary of State, if I remember correctly. We're talking 2004, 20 years ago, was asked the question, is Iran developing a nuclear war that we have to worry about? And he answered, no, it's not. And if you look up this business about a nuclear war, it has been going on for at least 20 years. Every year or two, there's a flare-up. They're building a nuclear weapon. They haven't. They haven't got one now. And they didn't develop one in those 20 years. This is the old story of crying wolf. You keep doing that, and then no one will believe you. And most of the world doesn't believe it now either. Israel has wanted to bomb Iran for many years, particularly Mr. Netanyahu. I won't go into here, although everyone ought to. What are you doing if you're a country of 7-8 million Jewish members of Israel? The rest are Arabic. Very small country. Iran has 90 million. You get it? More than 10 times larger country. Israel is already warring on the people of Gaza and causing itself unspeakable damage for years to come. Why would you open a second war in another place, this time with someone who can fight back, which the Palestinians in Gaza could scarcely do? Wow. This is a craziness. This is self-destructive unless Mr. Netanyahu can count on the United States coming in. And if that were to happen, then where will Russia go, who has a defense treaty with Iran? And where will China go, who has a defense treaty with Russia? This is how World War I and II got going, when one country invaded another and then the alliances were called in. What in the world are people thinking? This is nuts. And the fact that there might be this much chance that Iran is somewhere near nuclear weapons, by this point, how much difference does that make? There are probably 20 countries that have some kind of nuclear weapons program. North Korea, we know, has it. Russia, China, we know, has it. France and Britain have it. Germany, likely going to get it soon. India has it. Pakistan has it. Come on. This is a matter of when, not whether. And Iran isn't the only one. We are being led down the garden path by people whose decision-making is off. The United States has gotten together with all kinds of dictators around the world, non-dictators around the world, seeming not to care what they were, except for internal publicity. We don't like dictators. Sure we don't. We are in bed with all of them. And we're in bed with some who aren't dictators. Well, then what is it that we are doing? Answer, we are protecting our interests, which is a polite way of saying we are taking care of the big oil companies who have interests around the world and the big, large corporations who have interests around the world. And that means supporting governments, whether they're dictators or not, that are friendly to American business, and smashing governments that are unfriendly. Indeed, the only change that has happened is the change since Vietnam. And that change is one that has to be spoken of honestly. In Vietnam, the United States lost. It lost the war. The enemy was the Communist Party of Indochina, of Vietnam, and that's what runs that country now. We were defeated, we invaded, we had hundreds of thousands of troops, they were defeated, they were driven out, and the Communist Party of Vietnam is now in charge of the government. That's what it means when you lose. A lesson was drawn from that, which is that even if you're the biggest, richest, most militarily developed country in the world, and you go to war against one of the poorest countries in the world, Vietnam, at that time, you can be defeated. And one of the ways you get defeated is that your own people back home become upset by the dead soldiers coming home.